Hey kids, it's Englentine here with another Marvel vs. DC Comics. Got some good ones, got some bad ones. But overall, it was a pretty decent week, if not a very small week for comic books as far as the big two are concerned. We had Generations versus Jack Kirby, someone building the legacy up while another is tearing it down. You get to decide who is who. Anywho, let's get this train a-rolling. I was very lucky this week. I had no one-star books. The two-star books are merely bad with some saving grace keeping them from being truly horrible. Champions number 11. A lot of good things to say about this issue. The cover's not bad. I think the art inside is good. I've always liked Humberto Ramos's art, so, you got that. The color is good. It's a Secret Empire title, and it has color at all, so that's a plus. Inking is fine. I mean, look, that's some good shading on those wings. That's really cool. I seen it in the comic shop. The staples are holding the book together nicely, and I've got digital, but the lighting, my computer was well lit, so I could read the words, which means lettering was good, because sometimes I have a hard time reading them. And it seems like this book was well put together. Gee, what am I forgetting? Oh, yeah, story. Well, that sucked. I mean, this was a soapbox issue. Mark Waid was just preaching. God-awful stuff. Marvel's Thor Ragnarok Prelude, number 3 of 4. Now, the last two issues dealt with the Incredible Hulk movie, getting y'all caught up what happened in the last Incredible Hulk movie 10 years ago. This is Thor the Dark World, part 1, so it's from the beginning of the film all the way up to the point where, spoiler alert, Loki stabs Thor. Everything about this book is plain and inoffensive, and I absolutely mean that in the most boring way possible. There is nothing exciting about this. I'd rather watch the movie. It is a Cliff Notes of the movie, as a matter of fact. You can check out the art. It's plain. There's nothing really amazing about it. I would not pick this up at all. None of it. Not issue 1, 2. Even though I like the Hulk movie, I tolerated Thor, Dark World. There just isn't anything to make this book worth the money they're charging. The 3-star books are merely average. You might like them, you might hate them. For us, it just didn't move the needle. Bane number 4. So Catwoman's on the cover of this book, but she really doesn't have a lot to do with it. She's in the beginning a little bit, disappears, and then shows up at the end. Really, it focuses on Bane and I believe his name was Dionysus, basically the rolling head guy from the last issue, and they are talking about the difference between brains and brawn and what is better. They play a chess game. The little rolling head Dionysus guy wins the chess game and says, well, let's have a test. They decide on an organization they don't like, and they're going to bring them down, one using the brains, the other using the brawn of their little group, Bane and his group. And basically, you can see the setup coming from a mile away, because Bane's the one that's actually going there physically, so you know what's going to happen, and it happens. So it's a very predictable, middle-of-the-road kind of book. Marvel's Generation, the Strongest, starring the Hulks, Amadeus Cho and Bruce Banner. So this is supposed to be a time travel story where Amadeus Cho goes back in time, sees how Bruce Banner is living as the Hulk back when he was on the run. And we're supposed to get a sense of Bruce Banner is jealous of Amadeus Cho, while Amadeus Cho is seeing that Bruce Banner really had to struggle with his Hulk before he became the intelligent Hulk. But unfortunately, we only really get one side of that, and that is the Amadeus or the Bruce Banner being jealous. Amadeus Cho, once again, hardly shows any struggle or shows any emotion. None is drawn on his face while he watches Bruce Banner eat from garbage. Nothing like this. And once again, we get the idea that even though Bruce Banner warns him that the Hulk is not a gift, we get a feeling that Amadeus Cho will have learned no lesson from this. Nightwing number 26. Now, this is almost an example of comic books getting in the way of being good books. In the fact that Huntress and Nightwing meet up. They go to Italy, and there's something to do with an agent and their past as secret agents. And this is the most boring part of the story. The parts with the funeral where we find out that Dick is an outcast as Nightwing because he's perceived to have a role in the death of the person that they're burying. Or the part where Nightwing's ex-girlfriend and their flying friend are just going around the city talking about their plans for the future was far more interesting than the mission that Huntress and Nightwing were on. So I think in order to fill out all of the comic book tropes, they kind of ignored the character moments that were actually better, the better part of the book. I've enjoyed the last few issues of Miles Morales. I like the tension. I like the story with Hammerhead. He's in this one as well. And so, you know, it's really been entertaining, and it was quite a surprise. I didn't know how much I would like the Miles Morales stories. This, however, wasn't as good, but it did do something I liked. It made an argument for Miles Morales to have his own identity. And you notice I haven't called him Spider-Man. There's a Spider-Man already. So why can't we give him his own identity? Why does he have to ride the coattails of anybody else? And here they actually talk about him leaving the superhero game, and one of the things said is the fact that the only reason why he started was because there was a Spider-Man already. Well, there is a Spider-Man. Why don't you go and find your own way? And I thought this is really a good argument for him to become, like we discussed, the Tarantula or some other name, some other identity. Make his own way or just stop. But I doubt they're going to do that. He's a very popular character. Overall, I didn't like the book, but I did like that one character. So I'm going to even it out at this 3-star grade. The 4-star books are good. These are the stories and comics we can actually recommend. Batman number 28, The War of the Jokes and Riddles continues. Now, granted, once again, I'm going to point this out. This is a story told in flashback, so a lot of the tension is taken out. You can't worry about characters that are still alive today, you know? I mean, you just know everything. So it's not so much the destination as it is the journey. So how is the journey? It's pretty cool. In all honesty, I'm watching this and I'm wondering, how did they go from here to where they are? Because there has to be some sort of shift. There has to be some sort of story that gets everybody into the positions that they're in when we join up with them. There is a little bit more action for action's sake in this book than the other stories, but not anything that would take us out of the story and nothing that would really destroy the enjoyment of the book. Green Arrow, the place to be. Green Arrow number 28 is the continuation of the hard-traveling hero, the storyline that makes us wonder how bad is the Green Arrow doing in order to have a guest star in every book. In this case, he goes to Metropolis, where he doesn't meet Superman, he meets Lex Luthor to tell him that the Ninth Circle is going after rich folk, and since he's a rich folk himself, they will probably be going after him. Of course, Lex does the whole nobody can get to me, blah, 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 I'm arrogant bit. But overall, it's the best of them. It's the best of the story so far. Because while they're having a conversation about how the Ninth Circle can get to them, people are throwing themselves off of buildings or trying to shoot themselves and all that kind of stuff. And Superman's flying around trying to stop all of this mass suicide. It ends up being dramatic, funny, and exciting all at the same time. Injustice 2, Chapter 17. So it begins Batman setting up some sort of mission with Green Arrow, Black Canary, Batgirl, and Wildcat. And he's telling the young kids, hang out and protect the president because the president's not very ecologically conscientious. And, of course, they're going up against Ra's al Ghul, who is very. So What really sells the book to me, though, isn't Batman in that crew. It's the fact that finally they brought in Plastic Man, and I'm a big Plastic Man fan. Was ever since I was a little kid and I could read the Golden Age stories. But, oh, not that I was around for those. I got them in collections and such. But yeah, I mean, he makes the book fun. There's some funny scenes in this. It's exciting. It's well drawn, as you can see right here. And, I mean, it's a really easy read. Definitely worth the $1 a week it takes to get these chapters. And the 5-star books are the best of the best, the ones we highly recommend for the week. Alrighty, Black Bolt number 4, and let me be straightforward with you here. If you're not reading Black Bolt number 4, you're missing one of the best Marvel comics that are being produced. And this is one of the best issues of one of the best comic books that are being produced by either company, actually. And I'm surprised to say that because I spend a lot of time on Twitter talking to people who are just fed up with Marvel. But occasionally they can do something good. This and Iron Fist are actually very good. In this case, the Black Bolt's stuck in a prison and he's chained with Crusher Creel, the Absorbing Man, and they talk. It's a conversation. We learn all about Crusher Creel in this one. They just talk about the differences in their lives. It's a very good character issue. And it's okay to slow down sometimes and get to know the people we're supposed to care about. Superman number 28. Now, I did do a full review of this. Went page by page. And it's a good video. And it's a very good story. If you haven't been picking it up, I really suggest you do. And, you know, if you need anything, you know, just watch the video and you'll get a good feeling for it, I'm sure. One of the things about it is it goes over the wars and such. And it really does talk about how the people are what make the situations great. It did it with the last issue, and it does that with this issue. It tries to focus on the fact that it's not just a war, it's soldiers. It's people who fight the wars. And in the end, it becomes a more personal story. And I think that's what really makes this book great, because while it's talking about things on a grander scale, it really feels like a personal story. So there you go. Those were my reviews. I told you it wasn't a huge week this week, but let's check out the scores. DC Comics had 0 1 stars, 0 2 stars, 2 3 stars, 3 4 stars, 1 5 stars for 6 comics, a score of 23 and an average of 3.83. Ain't no way Marvel's getting a score that high. I don't think they've ever had it. Even when they won, they didn't have a score that high. Marvel had 0 1 stars, 2 2 stars, 2 3 stars, 0 4 stars, and 1 5 star. A score of 15, only 5 comics. That puts their average at 3.0, which is not a bad score. It's just not enough to beat DC. And I am rooting for Marvel to have a good week or a good month and beat DC, but they just refuse. These cash grab titles like Secret Empire just knock them down. But those are just my opinions. What did you think? What did you read this week? Let me know in the comments below. What did you like? What did you hate? Am I right about some things? Am I wrong? I want to hear what you have to think. Also, if you like this video, you want to see more, click like, click subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you don't miss anything. And also, don't forget to visit our Patreon or our vidme.com. Both the links are in the description below. Drop $1 in the till. We've got some patron-only videos for you. We try to get some out every day. Sometimes we fail at that, but we do make up for it. And to those who will do that, to those who have already done that, say thank you very much. And to everyone, thank you very, very much for watching.